21 Sports presentation of Great Plains Athletic Conference College Football is made possible by Lincoln Electric System. Use LES to save more. Union Bank, you belong here. KON, KGIN's My TV. And Nebraska Wesleyan University, where experience is the difference. Your experience.
And welcome back to Able Stadium. We're at halftime here between Nebraska Wesleyan and Hastings College. I'm Jeff Moats, along with Nebraska Wesleyan University President, Dr. Fred Oles. Doctor, thank you for so much for coming over here today.
Great to be with you, Jeff.
And, there's a long-standing history of community partnerships involving Nebraska Wesleyan University. I understand there's a new one now with Dawes Middle School.
Jeff, we have a wonderful new partnership with Dawes Middle School, and it complements existing partnerships that we have with Huntington Elementary School, also in the neighborhood, and with the Avenue Scholars Foundation in Omaha.
Now, what are some of the activities that Nebraska Wesleyan and Dawes are participating in?
Jeff, I was just over at Smith Curtis Hall, our classroom administration building. The students are training their rats for the Extreme Rat Challenge, and they've taken that show on the road. They've gone to Dawes Middle School, and the young people have learned how you train a rat. Then we've also got members of the student body, faculty, and staff who are working as mentors and tutors at Dawes Middle School. The third thing I would point to is that students from Dawes are coming to the Nebraska Wesleyan University campus, attending theater performances and football games, and they love it. The last thing to point out, though, is while we're serving those young people, it's benefiting our students as well, because they are getting incredible experiences, which lend truth to our statement: the difference is experience, your experience.
And it's also a special day today, with a brand new press box. You're going to have a dedication here today.
Jeff, we are going to have a dedication. I'm thrilled about it. Our new press box is courtesy of a generous gift from the Gardner Foundation. It's twice the size that our press box was before. It provides additional space for the coaches, additional space for the media. It's a wonderful emblem of all that's excellent in the successful history of athletics at Nebraska Wesleyan.
And I must say, it's a very nice facility to be working in here each and every Saturday that we're covering Nebraska Wesleyan football, too.
Good to hear that from you, Jeff. Thanks.
Dr. Fred Oles, Nebraska Wesleyan University President, here with me at halftime. Back with more in just a moment. And we're back at Able Stadium as we get ready for the second half. Let's take a tour through the first half with some halftime highlights.
21 Sports presentation of Great Plains Athletic Conference College Football game was made possible by Lincoln Electric System. Use LES to save more. Union Bank, you belong here. KON, KGIN's My TV. And Nebraska Wesleyan University, where experience is the difference. Your experience.
Starting from the 3, all the way up to the 40, down to the 45, 50, and finally, still on his feet, down the near sideline, and into the end zone for a touchdown. An opening kickoff return downfield. Improved on film as well. Here's a keeper by Ethan Myers, and Myers scrambles ahead and bumps off a... So Myers with a swing pass to the far side of the field. And pickup looks like maybe enough.
Came up with different plans of attacks here from their respective spots. And the ball comes loose there.
Bryant fumbled. He got the ball knocked out of his hands. Hastings says they got the ball. Here's a little play action here from Dostal. And Dostal completes a pass to the near side. And running with the football downfield is Zach Beatty, and he is tackled
well by Hastings. They sent 3 linebackers on a blitz. Possibility if you got to that shit.
Swing pass. Fake instead. It's to Delba, who cuts back in and gets in the end zone for the touchdown. A great play design. They fake. And with that, that's the first half. Here's what the stats look like from the first half. We're at 10-7. There you see the total yards. 231 total yards for Wesleyan. Only 146 for Hastings. Passing-wise, there's more in the air from Hastings compared to Wesleyan, but how about the rush? Only 27 on the ground for Hastings to the 132 from Nebraska Wesleyan. 15 first downs to 4. Time of possession, another big difference maker. 20 minutes over 20 minutes with the football to just over 9 for Hastings.
Well, not only that, just 20 minutes to 9, but 52 plays to 22 plays as we're underway here in the second half.
Delbaugh gets it at about the 7-yard line. He's on the return as he eludes one tackle, and he's open up to the 35 and tackled at about the 38-yard line.
Delbaugh proves to be dangerous in the special teams game with the return. He had 2 for 58 yards last week there. He made the first man miss. Nifty little change of direction again. Right about there, comes back, makes a miss. Tried to pick up a few blocks. Great starting field position again, but 30 more plays for Nebraska Wesleyan on the offensive side of the ball than Hastings in the first half, and that's completely opposite of this Nebraska Wesleyan team. Coming into this game, the defense had been on the field for the equivalent of almost an entire game more than their offense throughout the first 9 games. So a big change there. The offense coming out, doing some damage, and mounting some lengthy drives, finishing them 2 for 2 in the red zone, the field goal and the touchdown.
Delbaugh with the handoff finds an opening, and he is tackled at the 44-yard line. Corralled that time as found an open crease. Good help up front. Indiana Jones in on the stop for Hastings.
Back to Delbaugh. We saw a steady diet of Jordan Delbaugh to start the game. In the first half there, he finished on the ground with 15 carries, 63 yards, and the 1 touchdown. So see if they go back to him. They got split backs this time with Edwards in motion.
2nd and 4. Option pitch. And Delbaugh is wrapped up by Burrish. And it's a loss of yards back to the 41-yard line.
Hastings played this one well. Pitch man accounted for, and the quarterback. Delbaugh is elusive, but he can't get by Burrish. Burrish, a pretty solid tackler in the open field for the Broncos.
This will be 3rd and 7 here for Nebraska Wesleyan.
First 2 plays, they've crowded the line, creeped those linebackers up within 1 to 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. Passing situation more than likely here. Let's see if they bring some heat on Myers.
Myers dropping back. Pass to the near side, complete to Edwards, the tight end. And Edwards is tackled at the 45-yard line and gets the first down.
Well, that was a great matchup that time. Edwards was matched up with the linebacker Quincy Johnson, and he turned him around, got free over on the right flat, picks up the first down, but Johnson tried to hang with him. He made a little inside move first, went to the outside. Johnson bit hard, and he was all alone. First catch of the day for Edwards.
First down and 10. This will be at the 44. Here's a pitch. Delbaugh, and he is stopped for a loss of yards. And it's Mason Cooper and a few others coming over there to make the stop. Alec Diffendaffer as well.
They keep attacking the edges of this Bronco defense. That time they strung it out long enough that the linebackers could come and fill. Diffendaffer in there as well from his spot as senior. 64 tackles on the team coming in. That's 2nd on the team.
So they'll put Edwards, the tight end, lining up on the left side. Delbaugh again. And he is quickly stopped. Looks like Diffendaffer comes over there, and it looks like Hastings has adapted to what they're going to do on offense as far as what Wesleyan's going to do. We're talking about handing it over to Delbaugh, and that is the key target right now.
Well, Delbaugh and the edges, they've adjusted well in the halftime break. They've slowed down this Nebraska Wesleyan rushing attack that had a pretty successful first half. And Diffendaffer there has been in on back-to-back plays.
3rd and long again. Myers out of the gun. Has some time to throw, finds a pass. It is complete to Matt Edwards, the tight end, cutting in, and he is going to be stopped about 3 short of the first down at the 37-yard line of Hastings, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Edwards' little foot race after the catch here. Diffendaffer able to trip him up, stop him short. But 2 catches on this drive for Edwards. Brings back out Vandenberg to punt it away.
Here's Vandenberg's punt. And Nicola on the return, and he is stopped. Brett Kotzer comes sprinting in and makes a stop on that short return. So Hastings with the football here to begin their next drive.
Vandenberg, another punt pinned inside the 20 on their opponent's second one today. On the season, 27 times now he's pinned opponents within his own 20. It sounds like a lot, but there was a couple games where Vandenberg had 11, 12 punts back-to-back weeks there, so he racked up a lot of punts there and a couple defensive struggles.
Here's Balaj finding a route on the outside. It's a foot race between him and Wardine, and Seth Wardine runs him out of bounds. And that's really the first big run we've seen from Balaj today.
The biggest run we've seen really from the Broncos from scrimmage today. Just 27 yards in that first half on the ground. And we talked in the very beginning of the game about the rush, who established the rushing attack was going to have some success. Hastings has rushed for 147 or more yards in all of their wins. If they don't hit that mark, they usually don't win games. Little jet sweep that time.
Looks like Nathan Arlt was the ball carrier that time. He is a sophomore from Hastings.
Let's try to get to the edge that time, bring one of the receivers across the formation. Wesleyan stayed home. Slowed it down, just 2 yards on the play.
Second and 9. Dostal with a pitch, goes Balaj. Balaj on the right side, and he is quickly wrapped up. Big stop that time from the Prairie Wolves.
Balaj maybe hitting a little bit of a rhythm here. A couple solid runs. Looks maybe a little more confident in his running, trying to get to the outside a little more than we saw in the first half when they really tried to pound it between the tackles. So both teams making adjustments. You talked about Hastings taking away those edges there in that first possession as they tried to go to Delbaugh. And now Hastings trying to go to the edges instead of running between the tackles with that power game here early in the second half.
Trent Friesen was in on that last tackle, but now Dostal on a draw play spins and makes his way downfield to the Prairie Wolf 42-yard line, and he picks up a first down.
Dostal is dangerous with his feet. He looked for a swing pass first and then decided that he was just going to tuck it up and go. Showed a little speed there. Dostal, like I said, averaging 38 yards per game on the ground, and for a quarterback who's not a running quarterback, that's a healthy number, taking into account sacks and whatnot, affecting your rushing yardage negatively.
Here's Balaj through the middle again, and that smash mouth football goes to work. And Zach Hoy and Russell Walton put the clamps on him as he is tackled at the 35. And you talk about Dostal, as a high school player at Omaha Gross, was pretty top-notch quarterback. He could throw the ball, and there were times that he could run with it too.
Well, that's one thing, though, that we haven't seen out of Hastings. They're not real comfortable in the passing game. They've had a couple big completions, as now they're going to look back, possibly change the play here as Dostal looks to see exactly what's going on.
Balaj being pursued. Corey Kundal and company, they were over there along with Zach Hoy. Taylor Gunther coming over along with Nate Straley. As they all converge on the right side of the field. There you see Balaj trying to get around that Wesleyan defense. Nothing doing that time, so third down coming up.
Played it really well, Phil, on the run from the secondary. 3rd and 4. This is big because Hastings has been able to move the ball a little bit, but again, and it kind of all season, Nebraska Wesleyan defense have gave up some yards between the 20s, but then when it comes right down to it, they've been pretty stout. They come up with a big play or a turnover or force a punt when it gets into this closer to the red zone area.
Dostal zips a pass right over the middle. It's caught at the 30-yard line, and it's enough for a first down.
And he put some zip behind this one. Dostal had pressure coming.
Zach Anstein made the reception, and Seth Wardine was over there initially to get the stop.
As you said it, Jeff, though, Dostal shows that he can thread the needle there, put some zip on it, stood in the face of pressure, took a hit, delivered the ball on target, allowed his receiver to convert for a first down.
Dostal airs it out. Far side of the field in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Hastings, but we got a penalty flag on the play. The reception was made by Travis Brown, but let's find out exactly what the penalty is. If it's a pass interference.
There was no signal of a touchdown. I thought maybe it looked like it was going to be a defensive hold in the end zone, but it may go against Hastings on a push-off.
And that's what it looks like.
That's a huge penalty. That would take points off the board. Let's listen in here and see.
We had offense pass interference on number 20. That's a 15-yard penalty. Still first down.
So Travis Brown did push off, and it kind of looked like that.
Coach Harper, let's take a look here. They're pretty locked up there at that point.
They're tangled up there. That's too close to. That's one of those calls that it didn't look like there was a push.
There was a lot of contact. They were both locked up there for a little bit. I don't know if he gained an advantage on the push. He did come down in bounds, would have been a touchdown, or if there was a hold before, or what you really call there. But the far official there thought he had a push off, and that one stands.
Dostal.
Fortunate for the Prairie Wolves, dodge a bullet there.
Yeah, incomplete there for Dostal, and you heard the Hastings fans in attendance. They saw the replay that we had on the video board.
One more look here. Right here, they're pretty locked up, both of them. And does he push off to gain an advantage? I don't know.
I don't think, it doesn't look like he did. I mean, they were really tangled up. But the Hastings fans were reacting to the video board when we showed you the replay, and obviously expressing their displeasure. Second down and long. Another play action from Dostal in the air. Catch is made inside the 5. They're going to mark him at the 5-yard line. Mike Nowicki with the reception.
Great ball by Dostal. Between coverage, shows some arm strength. Between the double coverage, Nowicki goes up in traffic and is able to haul it in inside the 5-yard line.
Now we're in a first and goal situation. It's at the 4, and the Wesleyan defense with some pressure. Fullback in motion. Dostal rolling right. Toss is going to be complete, but just shy of the goal line. Reception made by Zach Beatty.
And they motion him out a little bit here on the replay. Just run him out in the flat. He dives for the pylon, but out of bounds first.
He is right inside the 1. He is literally inches from getting into the end zone.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe Beatty from that fullback spot get a chance here to punch it in.
Dostal, Beatty, did he get in? Looks like he did.
No, they're going to mark him shy. Wow, I thought it looked like
Boy, that's a huge stop if they did.
Thought they were going to mark him.
He is short again.
He's initially stood up, but I thought his second effort might have rolled him into the end zone, so it brings up third down.
So third down and goal.
And there is not much between the football and the wide of that chalk line on the end zone.
Basically at the 1-inch line.
This would be a huge stop for Nebraska Wesleyan.
Let's see what they do here. Dostal under center. Gives it up. And this one goes to Burrish, who leaps into the end zone for the touchdown.
So they bring in Burrish in the backfield. And he gets his second touchdown of the day. This one on a 1-yard plunge.
First offensive touchdown of the afternoon for the Hastings Broncos. And now the point after coming up.
Don't forget, field goal was blocked earlier. Now we have flags.
Penalty flags come up. Is it a procedure penalty?
Let's listen in.
Ball start. Number 60 on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Luke
Case-
Ruhlman.
Let's see, was it number 50?
50 or 60?
If it was 50, that'd be Casey Malafua, who is from Lincoln North Star. Maybe, I think it is 60.
I think it was Luke Ruhlman, a sophomore.
Here's the snap, the hold, the kick from Tomlinson is up, and it is good.
Delbach came close again, though.
Yep. So Hastings takes command this time. Just over 5 minutes remaining. The Broncos lead the Prairie Wolves 14-10. Back with more in a moment.
Did you know that for every degree you set your thermostat below 68 in the winter, you can save 3 to 5% in energy savings? 3 to 5%. So the question is, how low can you go? How low can I'm okay. So visit us at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube for even more money and energy saving tips. Until next time, thanks for watching.
21 Sports back here at Able Stadium, also being seen on KOLN, KGIN, DT, that's the My Television Network. And the Hastings Broncos now back on top, 14-10 over the home team, the Nebraska Wesleyan Prairie Wolves, here on a very nice afternoon here in Lincoln.
Well, it's been exactly what had been advertised up to this point, a defensive struggle, a close game. Neither team has won in the past three meetings by more than 4 points, and that's where we stand right now.
Delbaugh on the return, and he is going to be wrapped up and tackled at the 26-yard line. So now the Prairie Wolves with a lot of work cut out for them here, even though they're down 14-10. It's, again, been a defensive game. The offenses have been struggling a little bit. Each team has got one offensive touchdown. The only other touchdown that happened in this game was the special teams, and that was that kickoff return from Burrish. So the offense has not exactly been up to par for both teams.
That last offensive drive, really the only sustained drive we've seen from Hastings all afternoon. They only had 22 plays in that entire first half.
So here's a toss to Delbaugh, who tries to cut back in middle, and he is quickly wrapped up and tackled on the play from Mason Cooper.
We'll have to see if Coach Keller adjusts here, as they seem to have that outside edge really buttoned up. They try to go outside, and all it was white shirts. Spun around, bringing him down there. No gain of the play.
So 2nd and 10 here from the 26.
Matt Edwards is split out at the bottom of your screen, the tight end, one of the favorite targets of Myers. See if maybe they try and go his direction.
Myers instead throws it to the far side. It is incomplete. And it's Tyfault that's the intended receiver on the far side.
He was kind of locked in the whole way.
And I don't know.
Over there for Tyfault, kind of a comeback route. Would have been no gain at that point. And there was a lot of white shirts there.
I was going to say, I don't know if that was slightly underthrown or what. So 3rd and 10 here. Ethan Myers, again the quarterback, as you see, for Nebraska Wesleyan. He drops back, looking, and no, he's going to be sandwiched up and taken down, but there is a penalty flag on the field.
Well, I think it's just going to add insult to injury here. I think it's probably a holding penalty on the Prairie Wolves. If that's the case, I would think they're going to decline this and force the punt.
4th down. You can't.
So the Prairie Wolves go 3 and out. Garrick Beebe is called for the holding penalty.
Well, even despite the hold that time, Nebraska Wesleyan gives up the sack.
Here's Vandenberg to punt. Here's the boot, nearly blocked. And Nicola returns it and gets it across the 50. Somebody losing a helmet, penalty flag coming out again. Nicola lost the helmet.
Tackled by Brett Kotzer.
So
We have another yellow hanky on the
get
field.
more laundry on the field, and let's
Just
see
about,
what it is.
just about got to Vandenberg that time. Nicola did a nice job making the first man miss. We'll talk this one over. I'm not really sure what we're looking at here. Came in right at the end of the play, which makes you think it's some sort of a late hit, maybe a unnecessary roughness type penalty or
Personal foul of some sort.
We have personal foul, face mask on the defense, on the 46. It's a 15-yard penalty.
take a look here. Can't get a real great look at
Yeah, it's
the
kind of
hand
hard
up
to see
in
from
there.
that vantage point exactly where the face mask occurred. But this is a boost for Hastings.
Great field position after the penalty.
They have it at the Wesleyan 33-yard line. Just under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Here's a draw play for Dostal, and he carries it to the 31-yard line.
Dostal with the carry, brought down by Brett Kotzer.
That was the first really designed run for Dostal we've seen all day. Like we've seen him scramble for some good yards earlier in the game, but that time just a pure quarterback draw, quarterback run over that right side. Wesleyan bringing up an extra linebacker on the line now, going big for big.
And Balaj eludes a tackle, leapfrogs another, and then finally stopped at the 25-yard line.
That's something defensive coordinator Kroom said that, so take a look here as Balaj goes airborne, try and pick up a few extra yards, but they would try and go a little big for big, change their lineup a little bit, maybe use some four-down linemen at times to go bigger linebackers in the game to combat that offensive front of Hastings. And we're seeing it on this drive as four-down linemen in the game for Nebraska Wesleyan here. And sneaking up maybe some of their bigger linebackers, changing up the splits a little bit.
Balaj right through the middle again. And tackled at about the 22-yard line, enough for a first down.
Well, the Hastings offense has found a rhythm here in the last two possessions.
Balaj carries the ball, tackled by
Balaj has had a little more
Kotzer.
success on the ground. That offensive line, a little bit more push than we saw in that first half. And really, it's kind of surprising because the defense for Nebraska Wesleyan stayed relatively fresh in that first half. Only 22 plays they were out there. Should be really ready to go here in the second frame.
Here's a handoff, and the ball given around right side. Alex Romero, he's a freshman out of Lincoln.
Tackled by Brett
Just a simple
Kotzer.
stretch plays. Take a look at the Hastings coaching staff over there. Trying to find a way to get in the end zone here as they're in the red zone. First half, they were 0 for 2 on their trips to the red zone. So far, they've been able to punch it in here this afternoon. In the second half, 1 for 1. This third quarter is really zipping by.
Here's a play action. Dostal eludes one tackle, throws the ball. It goes incomplete. And that time it was intended for the receiver, Tyler Mertens, the tight end out of Waverly.
Dostal had to go a long ways, and good coverage that time by the secondary of Wesleyan. Not really a whole lot of options for Dostal. They had everything covered up. Brings up 3rd and 6.
So the Prairie Wolf defense needing to come up with a big stop here on third down. Dostal here on third. And he's in trouble, and he's taken down. A big stop there for the Prairie Wolves. Sheldon Bowens coming in to make the stop.
Brought down to play by Sheldon Bowens.
Came on a little stun on that left side. Came free. Had an open shot at Dostal. Dostal never saw him coming. And again, a big hold on third down. They blocked the last field goal attempt by Thomason.
Lucas Tomlinson will attempt a 41-yard field goal. The kick is up. It's got the distance. Is it through? Yes, it is. And he nails a 41-yarder.
First one of the season he's converted on.
He is now 1 for 2 on field goal attempts, 1 for 3. I beg your pardon, because obviously he had the blocked one earlier. So Hastings extends their lead now 17-10. Back with more in a moment.
Just like that, Aurora wins a thriller.
One of the greatest games in program history.
You know they're coming for us, and we got to be ready to go for them too.
This is the biggest game of the season that we have.
He just wants to win.
And there's a lot of room for some of those teams at the top to slip up.
We cover more sports, we get better highlights, and we bring them all to you live every Thursday night on Prep Zone Weekly.
There you see Lucas Tomlinson hit his first field goal after 2 other attempts. And that gives Hastings a 17-10 edge with 46 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. And here we go. High end over end kick, and Delbach gets it at the 3. He is up to the 25, spins to the 30, and finally tackled at the 35-yard line.
Nice return by Delbach once again, spinning his way to extra yardage. It's his go-to move, and he picks up an extra 5-6 yards after contact there. One more time.
There you see it.
2 spins on that one. Good starting field position. Now this offense needs to put a drive together here and answer. They had some long drives in that first half. They've had some quick drives here, some 3 and outs, some 4 or 5 yard or 4 or 5 play drives. They need to put together a nice established drive here.
They haven't had one here in quite a while.
Well, they go inside between the tackles that time for 3 yards.
Yep, Dustin Bryant got the carry that time up to the 38-yard line. Clock winding down. It looks like they'll probably just let it run out. Instead, nope, they'll go to the line. Down to 5 seconds. Down to 3. And now time expiring, and this is the final play as Myers throws the ball up in the air, and it goes incomplete, way out of bounds on the far side, and the third quarter is over. So, 3 quarters in the book, and your score is Hastings 17 and Nebraska Wesleyan 10. Back with the fourth quarter in just a moment.
These are the keys to the car that Sarah just bought. After landing a new job, where she barely made it to the interview on time. In a rental car, paid for with money that was transferred to her account in seconds after her old car broke down. With a simple call to Ryan at Union Bank, who took care of everything and got Sarah on her way. At the right bank, a real solution is just a phone call away. And the right bank starts with the right people.
Hi, this is Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy. Did you know that for every degree you set your thermostat below 68 in the winter, you can save 3 to 5% in energy savings? 3 to 5%. So the question is, how low can you go? How low can you... I'm okay. So visit us at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube for even more money and energy saving tips. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Brian Keller, there you see the head coach, longtime head coach at Nebraska Wesleyan. He is the dean of all GPAC coaches. Trying to get his Prairie Wolves sparked here.
Talk about even yardage through 3 quarters, 254, 253.
It's a heated, even race there from that standpoint as Myers looks to go to the far side of the field, and Joe Manley, the intended receiver, as the pass goes incomplete.
Myers took a little shot as he stood in there and tried to go deep downfield with that one. A little slow getting up. Brings back Vandenberg. They've been very close to getting to Vandenberg the last couple times as well. 2 safeties back to return this time.
Here's Vandenberg. High, spiraling kick.
What a kick.
Look at that thing. That's going to go bouncing into the
far.
end zone. That bounced at the 1 and went right into the end zone.
Now it's back on this Nebraska Wesleyan defense. They've been doing it all season. They need to come up with a big play, hold Hastings to a 3-and-out here, force a fumble, find an interception, and maybe get the short field for that Nebraska Wesleyan offense, who's really struggled this second half to find any sort of rhythm.
Well, Hastings found the rhythm in this last quarter and put together their first offensive touchdown drive of the game.
Well, now Hastings is up over 150 yards rushing, 169 in the afternoon, and normally when they hit that mark, they'll win the football game.
It's a keeper for Dostal, and he is stopped shy of the 25 at the 23-yard line. Kotzer over there to help out in the play for Nebraska Wesleyan. So a 4-yard gain for Dostal. Second and 6. Looks like he might be changing the play at the line. Let's see what they do.
Big set for Hastings at the line.
It's Balaj who gets the handoff, and looks like Phil Latimer over there to help out in the stop. Big play that time. And looked like maybe Sheldon Bowens might have been over there too.
Bowens in on a couple plays here. Had the big play last possession. Came on a blitz. And now you see Hastings content to let that play clock run down, run some time off. That one possession lead, 17-10. Just go to work here, try and pick up a couple first downs.
Draw back pass is complete on the far side. And enough for a first down. Reception made that time by Kyle Bernstrauch.
That was a nice route by Bernstrauch. Came back, got his cover back off there, just driving him off the ball and then coming back towards it on the route. And Dostal's really throwing some strikes here, showing us he has some nice arm strength. And he can put it on the money when he has to.
So Bernstrauch's reception puts the ball at the 34, now in 1st and 10. Handoff through the middle. And a stop at the 37-yard line by the Prairie Wolves.
Both 5 fumbles in that first half between the two teams, each of them losing a pair. Since then, really, everyone's taking care of the ball a little bit better. You wonder if maybe the Prairie Wolf defense is going to have to come up with one of those turnovers to really change the momentum of this game at this point. It's been all Hastings in the second half.
Here's Balaj, and he thought he got through that time, but not for long. Nate Straley and Brett Kotzer over there.
Straley again from his defensive line spot with another play in his final game as a Prairie Wolf, the senior day here.
And, you know, that's one thing. They don't want to obviously go out with a loss, you know, here at home. And, you know, they're doing everything they can. There's still plenty of time left here. 7-point advantage for Hastings. 3rd and 7. Play action. There was a blitz on it. Goes incomplete.
Dostal took a shot, and he had his target, a tight end, if he could have got it there, but there was too much pressure coming. Look at this right here, right up the middle. Friesen again, who's, you know, played every other game for a while, had those injuries, and then has been playing solid here at the last 3 games of the season. Nice play there on the blitz.
So Trent Friesen put the hit on Dostal. And 4th down here for the Broncos. They'll punt.
Keep your eye on Jordan Delbaugh. Top side, off the line there, top of your screen. They don't send him this time.
Softly gets it at the 29. He's quickly wrapped up. And did he bobble the ball and Wesley can get it back? I think so, yep. So softly had it, may have bobbled it a little bit. Let's watch it again.
I think he coughs it up a little bit here. He gets hit, and it comes loose. Yeah, it's between his legs right there. He's fortunate to fall back on that one. Jarring it loose for Hastings that time was Washington, a sophomore linebacker, the gunner on the coverage team.
So from their own 27, Wesleyan with the football. You're on 1st and 10. Fake, and now rolling to the left. Myers looking to throw. Pass is complete to the tight end, Matt Edwards. And they will mark him out at about the 39-yard line.
Edwards with a nice catch there, able to get his feet down inbounds as Myers waited till the last possible second to fire that one off. Thought maybe he was going to take off and try and pick up some yards on the ground, but he strings this play along and waits for Edwards. Edwards did a good job not giving up on his quarterback either. Came back towards the sideline and was able to get the completion.
And that time Jordan Delbaugh with a handoff on 1st and 10, gets about a yard to the 41.
Delbaugh a little frustrated out there, shaking his head, wondering where these Hastings Broncos are coming from. Those running lanes were open in the first half, and he's been stymied here in the second frame.
Second and 9. Lovell gets the carry, and he is stopped. Gets a 1-yard gain to the 42.
Quick hitter that time. We've seen some success with the fullback for Nebraska Wesleyan on those, but Hastings has it bottled up here. Those linebackers really flowing to the ball hard. The defensive line occupying that front 5 for Nebraska Wesleyan.
Myers looks to throw again. In the air, incomplete. Looked like Edwards, the intended receiver. Him and Teifel, believe it or not, were on the same side of the field.
Yeah, it kind of almost looked like a mix-up in routes there. Edwards and Teifel ended up in the same spot. Ball was high, and we'll bring on Vandenberg again.
So it was either or. It looked like more than anything it was intended for Edwards. So 4th down, and the Prairie Wolves in punt formation. High, booming, spiraling kick. And Nicola gets it at the 5, spins out of one tackle, and is stopped just short of the 10-yard line.
Sure hands by Nicola to make the catch. Big hit here, but I don't know if you're maybe a little more well advised to let that one go. See if you can get the touchback out of it, but as it is, they're backed up at their own 8-yard line. Chance for Nebraska Wesleyan maybe to really pin their ears back and come at this Bronco offensive attack.
From their own 8-yard line, Hastings with the football, 1st and 10. Lodge, and he is stopped, running into a tackle. Kotzer and Friesen were over there. Phil Latimer was there too.
You heard the pads pop on that one. Good hit by Latimer.
Lodge carries the ball, tackled by Kotzer and Walden.
So this will be 2nd and 10. Dostal throws, pass is complete. At about the 15-yard line, the reception made by Travis Brown. Still about 4 or 5 short of a first down.
And with under 9 minutes now, this is a big 3rd down for Nebraska Wesleyan. They need to get this Hastings offense off the field, get the ball back for that offensive attack. They look like they're going to bring some pressure. Now Hastings, Dostal changes things up.
So he'll go back into the gun here as he drops back. Pass is broken up, incomplete. Huge play that time. Big stop there for the Wesleyan defense. Tanner Smith came up with that play. And
linebacker back in coverage that time. Smith's one of those guys that we're seeing a little bit more of today because they're going with some of those bigger linebackers to match up. Tanner Smith, 6 foot, 225-pound senior out of Seward, Nebraska. In coverage that time, knocks it away. And it looks like this time that Wesleyan might send the house.
They're going to send everybody. Here's the punt. Softly gets it at the 48. Says a fair catch. So not bad for Wesleyan. They got the football, but they got to sustain the drive.
Well, the defense did their job. They held on the 3 and out there, had them backed up inside their own 10-yard line, forced the punt. Now the short field for this offense. See if they can't find something, just a little spark here to get things going in the second half. Maybe it's Joe Manley in a passing route or Matt Edwards on a seam over the middle. Just something to get a fire brewing here for this Wesleyan offense.
Manley and Tyfalt are your receivers split each side. Myers eludes a tackle, throws downfield to Tyfalt, who almost had it and goes incomplete. He got sandwiched up in between a couple of defenders from Hastings, one of them being Aaron Verlinde, and the other one was Garrett Griffith.
Pretty nice pass. Again, Tyfalt going up high. We've seen twice today him climb the ladder and go up, but Verlinde came over from his safety spot, added the help, knocked that one free.
2nd and 10. This is from the Hastings 48. Here's a toss to Delbaugh. And Delbaugh not going to get a gain. In fact, he is stopped at the line.
Well, again, Hastings at the last minute brought up a linebacker to go with a 4-down lineman look. So they moved one of their linebackers down onto the defensive front. And it was right where they tried to run with Delbaugh, and it plugged the hole. So Coach Harper, who was the defensive coordinator before taking over as the head coach this year for Hastings, has made some adjustments and really slowed down this attack. And this isn't the first time he's faced Nebraska Wesleyan. He was the head coach at Dakota Wesleyan a while back. So he's actually 1-2 coming into this contest against Coach Keller.
Myers looks for, it looked like it was Delbaugh, the intended receiver. Threw his hands incomplete. That brings up 4th down. So the Prairie Wolves, with good field positioning, cannot sustain a drive.
Another 3 and out for Nebraska Wesleyan. And all of a sudden, we're seeing a lot of Vandenberg, and time's beginning to become an issue. 7:40 left right now. Hastings puts together any part of a drive. You're battling the clock as much as anything here in a little bit.
Bounce it goes, and the Prairie Wolves are rushing to get down there. It goes into the end zone.
That time Nicola did decide that he would let it go instead of fielding it inside his own 10, and Vandenberg was hoping to pin him down there one more time, but that took just too fast of a roll into the end zone. He almost had it just right. As there you see Coach Harper and the coaching staff over there. Like I say, he used to be the coach up at Dakota Wesleyan, and he was 1-2 at the helm of the Tigers against Coach Keller's squad. So, he's familiar with Coach Keller and his attacks. Been in the GPAC a long time, even before his time at Hastings.
So this will be 2nd down. 2nd and 5.
Well, Hastings wants to be a smash mouth football team anyway, and they get in this type of a situation. We've just seen a steady diet barrage here, and even running it out of the pistol here. They've moved Dostal back a little bit, give him a little more time.
So a draw play out of the pistol formation, and Brett Kotzer tackles Dostal at the 29-yard line.
Does stop him shy of that 1st down, so Prairie Wolves with a chance here for another 3 and out.
Closing in on 6.5 minutes left here in this game. Both teams coming in today 5-4 overall, 4-4 in the conference. 3rd down. Dostal on a sneak play keeps it, takes it across the 30 toward the 31-yard line. And it's a first down. So if you're Hastings, you've got the clock on your side right now. And if you were just to keep balancing your offense like what they're doing right now, you know, things will be in relatively good shape.
You keep doing what you've been wanting to do. I mean, that's their MO. Their game plan is to be a power football team. They throw some intermediate pass routes when they have to. They've completed some big passes, some big plays out of some play action, but they're just going to pound it at you right now.
And here's Balaj, who found an opening along the right side. He's knocked out by Seth Wardeen. And it's a first down.
Take a look here. Toss play. This time Beatty out in front leading. Nice kick out block. Opens up the sideline for Balaj. Picks up some good yardage. He's bumped out by Wardeen, but Beatty leading the charge there, the fullback. Clearing the path.
From the 42, 1st and 10.
You just kind of feel the energy on that Nebraska Wesleyan sideline down there. It's just, there hasn't been a lot here in the second half. It's sucked right out of them.
And a handoff that time looks like it was Alex Romero, the running back, the freshman from here in Lincoln. So 2nd and 9 coming up. Dostal again from the pistol.
In no hurry here.
Nope, just taking his time. Romero gets it around the right side, and he is stopped by Seth Wardeen as he is stopped at about the 47-yard line. So about a 5-yard gain that time. 4.5 minutes left. And again, Hastings simply being conservative, just slowing things down. They're trying to draw Wesleyan out of an element of, you know, hey, we got to make a big stop in a hurry. And
right here, what Hastings has to focus on maybe as much as anything is 3rd and 6, but they need to take care of the football. They need to wrap it up if they're carrying the ball. Make sure they take care of it. Don't have a big turnover here.
Now they're going to throw the football, and Dostal airs it out down the field, and it goes incomplete. Travis Brown was the intended receiver.
Hastings fans thought maybe there was a little extra contact for Brown going down the field, but that ball well beyond his reach.
Taylor Gunther was right on his heels too.
And Gunther, don't forget, playing for Cody Eiler, who's out with that broken hand. So Gunther seeing some action. They picking on him a little bit there, knowing, you know, that he's maybe the least of the experienced corners. And here's where maybe you miss Eiler as well. Not that Softly isn't capable, but Eiler was so explosive in the return game, as we have whistles before they can punt it away.
Game on the offense, number 42, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Take the 5 yards and punt it away.
This was, you know, obviously another big game for Wesleyan. This is a chance for both of these teams to finish in the upper half of the GPAC standings. Almost a block punt. Softly is going to watch it bounce back around the 20-yard line. So 3:52 to go, and it's going to be marked at the 20, so 80 yards for the Prairie Wolves to work with. And you've got very little time to waste.
You know, both these teams, they always want to get the win against the in-state rival. You know, it helps in recruiting as well when you're going after some of the same kids. You know, with Hastings, Wesleyan, Concordia, and Doane, those Nebraska schools, and none of them will have run the table on each other this year.
Myers in the pocket, scrambles, looks to throw. Tyfault makes the reception. It will be incomplete. He may have been out of bounds when he made that catch.
Yeah, just unable to get any feet down inbounds that time. Again, though, I like the fact that they're not giving up on Ethan Myers, even when he has to scramble out of that pocket. The receivers are coming back to the ball, running towards the sideline, giving him some options. But he's just unable to. He ran out of real estate, quite frankly, there. The sideline just crept up on him too quickly. Now you talk about the Nebraska schools, and no one's run the table. Concordia's beat this Hastings squad. Doane, has lost to this Hastings team. Nebraska Wesleyan's beat Concordia, so it's kind of a circle here. Prairie Wolves are going to talk it over.
Timeout of the half.
So we'll take a timeout with him. 3:42 to go in this game. Hastings on top, 17-10 on 21 Sports.
Just like that, Aurora wins a thriller.
One of the greatest games in program history.
We know they're coming for us, and we got to be ready to go for them too.
This is the biggest game of the season that we have.
He just wants to win.
And there's a lot of room for some of those teams at the top to slip up.
We cover more sports, we get better highlights, and we bring them all to you live every Thursday night on Prep Zone Weekly.
Ethan Myers back out, along with the rest of the Prairie Wolf offense. They have 3 minutes and 42 seconds to work with in trying to tie this game up. 2nd and 10. This is at the 20. And what do we got here?
We're going to reset the play clock.
Yep. So 2nd and 10. Here's an option play. And Myers ultimately keeps it and gets to the 23-yard line.
Nicola took away the pitch man. Myers able to pick up, give him almost 4 on the play. But 3rd and 6, you're in 4-down territory the rest of the way, regardless of where you're at in the field.
Myers looks to throw far side, and it is broken up. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Joe Manley.
Joe Manley was almost quadruple covered over there.
Yep, Aaron Verlinde initially broke the pass up.
Tyfault was open underneath. Would have been more than enough yardage for the first down, but Myers was kind of locked in on going up top to Manley, and they're going to punt it away here with 2 timeouts remaining. Hope their defense can get them the ball back.
Vandenberg's punt. Bounce inside the 35. They'll let it roll. Prairie Wolves will let it roll deep. And guess where they're going to mark that ball down? Right inside the 1.
Wow, what a punt
at
by Vandenberg.
The goal line.
That was on the 23-yard line. So do the math there. That's going to be close to a GPAC record punt.
That was a great punt from Vandenberg.
77-yarder unofficially. And 76 is marked at the 1.
Figure, yeah, you're in the ballpark. So they'll have the football right at the 1-yard line. 1st and 10.
You got to expect just straight ahead running out of the eye here.
And they'll give it to the fullback.
He gets maybe 1. That's Beatty.
Yep, that is Zach Beatty who
He's opened some holes up this afternoon as well. Beatty, lead blocker out there for Collage a few times.
He's had a couple of receptions too on the afternoon.
And he had a nice return on that one squib kick up the middle. As the clock, perhaps the biggest enemy at this point for Nebraska Wesleyan with 2:18 and counting.
2nd and 9. Again, they go with it up the gut. And the ball taken past the 5 to the 6-yard line and a timeout in the field. So Nebraska Wesleyan calls
Zach
timeout.
Beatty carries the ball again.
2:10 to go here in this ball game. 17-10 Hastings on 21 Sports.
You should pick Wesleyan because
it's a school that whatever you want to be in life, you can certainly do it.
I wanted a small school, small campus where I could be one-on-one with my professors.
It's just like one big family. Not to mention the kind of education she gets is wonderful.
I didn't apply to any of the schools. I know Wesleyan was the one that I wanted to come to.
We want you to come join us and be part of the Prairie Wolf family and be a part of the tradition of success.
Well, Wesleyan calling that timeout. They have one remaining here in this game.
Coach Kroom there, defensive coordinator, talking to that defense. 3rd and a little over 6. You think that Hastings wouldn't take a whole lot of chances here, backed up inside their own 10, just hang on to the football, go straight ahead, but it's hard to tell. Maybe they'll let Dostal air one out here, so you got to be really playing disciplined position football so you don't get sucked in on a play action or let anyone go over the top of you at a big play here deep in your own territory.
3rd down and 6 to go. Ball at the 5. Dostal drops back, pass far side incomplete. Intended receiver was Mike Nowicki.
And not only that, it not only forces the punt, but it allows Nebraska Wesleyan to save that final timeout. It stops the clock on the incompletion. So now 2:08, 1 timeout remaining, not looking quite as bad as getting it back around 2 minutes left and no timeout. So see if they send Delbaugh here in the end zone. At the same time, you don't want to roll up on the punter and get any kind of a roughing penalty and prolong the drive.
Delbaugh running in, and a knuckleballer on the punt. Fair catch signaled around the 40-yard line by Softly.
Now a little bit more energy on that sideline for Nebraska Wesleyan. 41 yards to go. Chance to tie this thing up. 1 timeout, 2 minutes and 1 second. Maybe a sense that they can put something together here. And I like, we talked early, Hopman was available today in an emergency situation, or if, Myers struggled a lot. I like the fact that Coach Keller is stuck with Myers, had a pretty solid game, and not pulling him out of there, letting him, he's really had control of this team since taking over midway through the season.
2 minutes to go. 1st and 10 for the 40. Myers looking to throw. Fires a pass, sliding in. Did he make the catch? Yep, he did. Joe Manley making the reception inside the 25 at the 23-yard line. So a 1st down for Nebraska Wesleyan.
Myers that time looked through his first option, came over to Manley.
They quickly line up again. Myers looking once again, throws a pass near side. It's complete to Jordan Delbaugh. This one is marked inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. He ran out of bounds. 2nd down and 4 to go.
Clock stopped. They still have that timeout in their back pocket.
Double wideouts to the far side, 2 to the near side. Myers out of the gun. Here we go. Looking to throw. Throws over the middle. Intercepted. It is intercepted. And Hastings College defensively.
Indiana Jones
came up with the interception.
And he dropped back in coverage that time from his linebacker spot. They'd been sending a linebacker or 2 in the blitz, but this time he just dropped back in soft zone coverage. And I'm not sure that Myers even saw him back there. He just drifted back into coverage and was right in the passing lane that time. Indiana Jones with probably a...
He's had a pretty good game today.
Yeah,
I mean, we've mentioned him a lot this afternoon.
It's one of the bigger interceptions that he'll have on the season, stopping the would-be tying drive.
So Dostal will give it up to the running back that time. Balaj, who took the handoff.
They have the 1 timeout, and they use it here.
And it looks like a timeout will be taken by Hastings, it looks like, or no, it's Wesleyan who takes the timeout. So the Prairie Wolves call it with 1:35 to go. Back to Able Stadium in a moment.
This is the smoothie that Tina bought after her workout by withdrawing some money from the ATM near her gym, instead of stopping at the branch in her grocery store, or the one by her daughter's school, or her usual location that's minutes from home, where Dave at Union Bank takes care of her when she needs more than an ATM. At the right bank, help is just around the corner, and the right bank starts with the right people.
Back at Able Stadium, 1:35 to go here in this game. Hastings coming up with an interception, and they have the football up 17-10. They'll have it at their own 10-yard line. 2nd and 5 to go here for the Broncos. Here's a toss, Balaj. Run right in. And he is stopped on the play. Looked like Kotzer was over there to help out. So we're under 1.5 minutes. And there was some pretty good buildup of momentum for Wesleyan on that last drive. They were getting closer and closer, and then of course the interception.
Well, you know, it always comes down to turnovers, it seems like, and each team had traded a couple fumbles. They had an interception early. Hastings did, and that evens the turnover game. So turnovers and special teams, and right now it's still that special teams touchdown to start the game that really is making the difference.
That is the big difference. And a first down that time for Hastings, and Balaj with the carry. And the Hastings faithful here at Able Stadium coming to their feet and applauding their Broncos. So the Broncos coming into Lincoln today with a lot of things on their mind. You know, they had those 3 opponents that were ranked, and you know, they've had a long road. This, believe it or not, will be their first road win of the season after 4 other tries, and they take a knee, and the Prairie Wolves fall to the Hastings Broncos in the final home game of the season, the final game of the year, 17-10, as both teams come out and shake hands here to wrap things up here in 2011. So, as we take a look back, there is the opening kickoff return for the touchdown from Burrish, 97 yards on that run. And that proved to be the difference. So Burrish with that touchdown return, and then there you see Ethan Myers early on in the game with a nice big gain on offense. There's Dustin Bryant with a reception. And a fumble on the play that Hastings got. I want to say thanks to all of our fine crew members who helped made this possible as well. In fact, we want to say happy birthday to one of our cameramen, John Haxby, who was celebrating today. We failed to mention that during the broadcast, so happy birthday, Hax. And again, during the course of the game, some big plays on defense. There's the one on offense, that Statue of Liberty play that we saw earlier from Jordan Delbaugh. And Delbaugh getting into the end zone for the only touchdown of the afternoon for Nebraska Wesleyan. And there you see the interception there from Indiana Jones late in the game to seal it. And the Broncos come in and win 17-10. A lot of thank yous to hand out today. Bill Lexford, Bo Wolf, our crew in the truck, and of course to you, Lucas Mormon. Thank you so much for joining me here on these broadcasts this year. And to a lot of other folks, even John Thayer and Garth Glissman, who helped us out during our time at 2 here in this season.
Not only that, Alex Linden over there, the Sports Information Department, and the cooperation from the coaching staff here, you know, helping us get prepared each and every week. It's been a pleasure doing the games with you and the crew here, and I look forward to another Nebraska Wesleyan football season next year here on 21 Sports.
Also, a big thanks to the Nebraska Wesleyan Athletic Department and Ira Zeff, the athletic director, the Nebraska Wesleyan University president, Dr. Fred Oles. So, for Lucas Moorman and our entire 21 Sports crew, I'm Jeff Moats saying so long. Thanks for watching, and good afternoon from Able Stadium in Lincoln.
Of Great Plains Athletic Conference College Football Game was made possible by Lincoln Electric System. Use LES to save more. Union Bank, you belong here. KLN, KGIN's MyTV. And Nebraska Wesleyan University, where experience is the difference. Your experience.